which was people's first mistake. The game is unique, and it is fundamentally structured differently than the Arkham series, and it is really in a different subgenre than the Arkham series. In all fairness, Arkham series was a more linear experience than the Gotham Knights series, and comparing the two titles by the only thing they have in common, which is Batman, is plain out wrong. A controversial take on a controversial game. Please give me a moment to dispel all of the belligerent madness going around on the internet about this game. I understand people are mad about the $70 price point in the 30 frames per second, but if you bear with me for just a second, I can show you why I felt this game was not only a serviceable co-op RPG experience, but enjoyably fun. Let's start out with the atrociously negative reviews so you can see where I'm coming from when I say that this game is getting put down to Sonic 06, E.T., and Superman levels of crippling disappointment.
Nice.
IGN comes out with a brutal 5 out of 10 review before the release. Quote, Batman's absence is felt. Quote, the oddly brief campaign is padded out with busy work. And talks about how the combat is the worst part about it, and cherry on top, it has some bugs in it. PC Mag, 3 out of 5, average. That's a 60%, folks. Despite Gotham Knights cooperative multiplayer and many customization options, Vigilante Justice can't save this open world RPG from mediocrity. Mediocrity, a word most commonly used when describing this game, according to reviewers. Eurogamer just straight up call it disappointing. What I gotta say is, this game is nothing like the Arkham series, so don't expect it to be. Then and only then will you really appreciate this game for what it is. Every review mentioned Arkham series in like the first couple of paragraphs, which was people's first mistake. The game is unique, and it is fundamentally structured differently than the Arkham series, and it is really in a different subgenre than the Arkham series. In all fairness, Arkham series was a more linear experience than the Gotham Knights series, and comparing the two titles by the only thing they have in common, which is Batman, is plain out wrong. The skills tree for all players was well thought out, and I thought it gave good control of the characters. The customization is on a totally different level than the Arkham series was, and we were hyped when Batman got a new suit given to you in the old game. Now you can wear a totally different suit on a night-to-night basis. However, let me say, some aforementioned reviewers had a lot to say about the 30 frames per second, and I admit it was noticeable, but not throughout the whole experience. I noticed when I was on the bike, and Gotham's new larger map, I guess that doesn't help the case at all. Another counter argument I'll dismember is the combat, which is a nasty web of mystery all in itself. On one hand, I like the difficulty of the fights, but I didn't like the somewhat automated lock-on system they had in the gang fights. Also, when the larger enemies were introduced, it did kind of break the flow of the combat system, which made for some pretty long, drawn-out fights. However, I played the game, had friends that played co-op with me, and we all agreed that the TikToks and endless reviews giving it 50s and 60% is unnecessary. For what it's worth, like I'm some type of collective fan review, in terms of the game being fun, I'd say it's a strong 7 to a 7.5 out of 10 on the fun meter if Arkham Knights never existed. And if it was $50 or $60, it would have been an 8 out of 10, no doubt. And to further back up my point, if this was a TMNT game, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, nobody would be saying any of this. This is all coming from the fact that the predecessor was Arkham Knights and Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, and these games just aren't that. Let's be honest, how many times have you played a fun game and ripped your headphones off with grand vigor because you noticed that without the help of developers and reviewers that it was 30 frames per second? We grew up on 30 frames per second, let's not act brand new. These reviews put Gotham Knights with the likes of Dragon Ball Breakers and Solstice, games you may not have even heard of that came out this year, and that's just not fair. So yeah, I just wanted to dispel all the madness, and I understand that some people were mad at the price point and stuff and the fact that it wasn't Arkham Asylum, but as a person who played the game and will continue to play, I can understand the large amount of people screaming for their money back. And this game just seems like the newest iteration of the internet's long line of butt-up jokes or punching bags. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this video, Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to join the gang. You know what I mean? Join the boy. Bread Show. It's the Bread Show over here. You know what I mean? We know what we doing. Peace out.
Welcome to the crib.